Good news, Cheryl. After last night, I've earned nearly enough to pay for that tree and those ludicrous presents you bought for yourself.
Bravo. Never mind that the last 2 weeks I've been living in a bordello with a woman of the night.
Oh, it's not that different from when I was younger and I had my pick of gentlemen callers lining up every evening.
Good God. You almost sound proud.
You wanted me to get a job, Cheryl, and I did. Providing comfort and companionship to the lonely men of Riverdale.
We are welcoming these students with open minds, hearts, and arms.
Cheryl.
If you
Hell
have
no.
any personal
My home life is a Dickensian nightmare. I won't have school turn into one too.
course schedule,
Stand down, Eva Perron.
There is the school spirit I so fondly remember.
Cheryl, no one invited fascist Barbie to the party. Ron, Veronica, no one invited Southside scum to our school. Listen up, ragamuffins. I will not allow Riverdale High's above-average GPA to suffer because of classrooms that are overcrowded with underachievers. So please, do us all a favor and find some other school to debase with your hardscrabble ways.
Why don't you come over here and say that to my face?
Happily, Queen of the Buskers.
Okay.
Nice to see you and Veronica back together. Especially considering that clandestine Christmas kiss I spied between you and Betty Cooper. Care to reconsider your allegiance?
Cheryl.
I was unsurprised and quite pleased to get your text suggesting this meeting, Archie. I'll keep it brief. If you don't convince Veronica to stand with us against the Southside rabble, I'll tell her I saw you locking lips with Betty Cooper.
Veronica and I were broken up, Cheryl. And so were Jughead and Betty. Anyway, that's not why I texted you.
Archie, do you really think you're going to outmaneuver me?
I want to talk about Nick Sinclair.
What on earth for?
Did you know that after he left Riverdale, he got into an accident? Like a pretty bad car crash?
Forgive me if I don't shed any tears for that animal. I only wish Mother and I wouldn't have burned the check his family gave us as hush money. You must have been thrilled too when you found out about the accident. I mean, after what Nick did to Veronica the night of his party.
What?
When he got physical with her?
What do you mean?
I mean, if Veronica wouldn't have slapped him senseless, the same thing that happened to me might have happened to her.
I am going to murder him.
Archie, I genuinely thought you knew. It was Veronica's right to tell you or not. I'm sure there's a specific reason she kept it. I told him. I told Archie the truth about that staph infection for a human. And I convinced him to pay Nick a visit.
Cheryl, why would you do that?
Classic shakedown. I wanted money from Nick, and I thought Archie could convince him that reparations were in order. My only regret is that I betrayed your confidence, Veronica. And for that, I'm sorry. Blood money from the St. Clairs. And this time, you have my blessing to deposit it in a bank, not in the fireplace. Aren't you glad? Your days of being a courtesan are over. Mommy, I said, you can stop.
Oh, but Cheryl. Now, why would I stop when I'm having such a good time?
Thank you, Mrs. Hagley. As I was saying, each year we honor the memory of General Pickens. Yet, few know the truth. That it was my great-great-great-grandpappy, Colonel Barnabas B. Blossom, who bankrolled General Pickens' settlement of in Eden along the river of Sweetwater, where maple trees grow taller than the steeples of Europe's grandest cathedrals. Which is why, every year I petition the mayor's office to rename Pickens Day.
Was stolen from them.
Oh, Betty, are you okay? Do you need some help?
I'm fine, Cheryl.
Let me grab you a towel.
I said I'm fine.
You have puke on your collar. no scruples, Mother?
What are you going on about now?
I just saw Hal Cooper leaving Thistle House. Betty was literally sick to her stomach at school yesterday, Mother. What if it was over this? You're destroying families with your courtesan ways. Back so soon, Mr. Cooper?
Cheryl, what are you doing sitting there in the dark?
You do know my mother's a harlot, don't you? A modern-day Ma Flanders. What you're doing could destroy your family. That's why I'm not going to tell Betty. But I suggest you hurry home to your wife and daughter before I change my mind. Betty, I wasn't going to tell you about something, but all night long I kept tossing and turning in my canopy sleigh bed thinking I'd want to know. But I take no pleasure in sharing this with you.
Actually, Cheryl, I gotta go. Chick texted me. He's at home with my dad.
This is about your father?
Did you just tell Jughead that Archie and Betty kissed?
Yes. So what if I did?
Did you at least have a reason?
Oh, that's right. You're new here. Hi, I'm Cheryl Blossom, AKA Cheryl Bombshell, which means I need no reasons. I simply am. Feel free to tremble.
I have a better idea. Why don't you tell me what's bothering you? Because clearly, you're in a lot of pain.
Get your sapphic serpent hands off my body!
Let me guess, some cherry cola for Cheryl Bombshell.
My God, what do you want? And why do you keep stalking me?
I'm not. I came to see this movie with Fangs, and he bailed on me. Are you okay?
I'm alone at the movies. And I'm trying to stay away from my mother, who has turned our house into her sexual playpen. So no, I'm really not.
Well, I was gonna go grab a seat alone, unless you want some company, but no pressure. Now, you might think you've mastered the art of silent tears, but I saw you crying during that movie, Cheryl.
I never cry in movies. Real life's tragic enough. But when Simon's mom said he used to be such a carefree kid growing up, and then at a certain point, he stopped being that happy kid because he was hiding a secret. Just
Cheryl.
everyone thinks I'm this loveless monster. But it isn't true. I loved someone who loved me. My mother destroyed it.
You mean your brother Jason? I heard how close you guys were.
No, not JJ. Her name was Heather. She was my best friend in junior high. She used to sleep over every weekend. Until one night, my mother caught us in the same bed. She said I was deviant.
Cheryl, I am so sorry. But you have to know your mother's wrong. You're not loveless. You're not deviant, okay? You're sensational. Cheryl, I agreed to come to this will reading, but I didn't agree to a makeover. Unless it involves that blouse.
Nice, right? For the record, j'adore your flannel mesh aesthetic. I'm merely augmenting it for the occasion.
What is going on in here, Cheryl?
Mrs. Blossom, hi, I'm Tony Topaz. I'm a friend of Cheryl's from school, and she's lending me an outfit for the will reading.
And why on earth would you be there?
I invited her to be my emotional support.
Just make sure you're downstairs before the guests start to arrive. We need to present a united front against those scavengers.
Ugh, she's a nightmare.
Isn't she, though? As the one true Blossom heir, I feel it is my sacred duty to say a few words. The Blossoms have been bathing in blood since great-grandpappy Blossom killed his brother. The original sin of Riverdale. Well, I stand here before you to say, no more. No more blood. No more madness. No more horror.
Here, here. Couldn't have said it better myself.